All right, so are you ready to dive into some League One action?
Yeah, let's go.
Today we're looking at a really interesting matchup. Lens versus Marseille.
Uh-huh.
You sent over some great articles previewing the game,
Yeah.
and it looks like things could get interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here for sure.
Okay, so we're calling this a deep dive
Great.
into this Lens-Marseille matchup, and we're going to be pulling out all the interesting details from these articles that you gave
Okay.
so that we can kind of get a sense of, what are the storylines here?
Right.
What are the things that we should be watching out for?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because these two teams
Right.
are coming off of very different results
Yeah.
going into the international break.
Yeah, before the break.
And I think this game
Oh, yeah.
could really be a turning point for both of their seasons.
So let's set the stage here a little bit.
Yeah,
Lens, they're sitting pretty well on the table,
they are.
considering, some of their inconsistencies. And that's thanks in part to this thrilling, talk about a comeback.
Yeah.
3-2 against Nantes.
Uh-huh.
Scoring 2 goals late to steal that victory.
Rotisserie at home, right?
At home, yeah.
I mean, they've had
Tough time at home.
a little bit of a,
Yeah.
struggle to score goals.
Yeah, they've been struggling to find the back of the net there.
Right, exactly.
But that win against Nantes,
Huge momentum.
yeah, that has to be a huge confidence booster, right?
Sure, for sure.
Especially going into, a big match like this.
Right, and it shows that they're capable of, pulling off these late,
Right.
kind of heroic wins.
And something else that I noticed in the articles, too, is that it seems like a particular player,
Yeah.
Adrian Thomason,
Yes.
has really got a knack for scoring late goals.
Uh-huh. Seems to be the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy if you need a goal late.
For sure.
Thomason is your man.
If you're a Lens fan, that's who you want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
With the ball late in the game.
All right, so let's talk about Marseille.
Oh.
Because they're coming off of kind of a different result.
Yeah.
They're coming off a tough loss to Auxerre.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
Which really, it kind of put a damper on their title hopes.
They did.
They want to keep pace with PSG.
Right.
At the top of the table.
Yeah, they can't afford to drop too many more points.
No, especially this early in the season.
Right, and this matchup against Lens is interesting because historically,
Oh, yeah.
it hasn't been kind to Marseille.
Historically speaking, it's been quite a difficult matchup for Marseille.
Yeah, from what I read, they've lost more games to Lens than almost any other team in League One.
I mean, that's
History.
that says something right there.
So you're telling me Lens has kind of a psychological edge
Potentially, yeah.
going into this match.
And you always hear these stories about certain teams having these bogey teams
Right.
that they just can't seem to beat.
Yeah.
Maybe Lens is that for Marseille?
Okay, interesting. Okay, so Marseille coming off of a loss,
Yeah.
and Lens kind of has their number historically.
Right.
But something that I found interesting is that Marseille's away form is totally different.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at their overall form, it's been kind of up and down,
Okay.
a little inconsistent.
Yeah.
But when they're away from home,
Mm-hmm.
completely different story. They've been really dominant,
Okay.
playing with a lot of aggression,
Yeah.
a really attacking style of play.
Yeah, they've been racking up the goals.
Yeah, and the wins against some tough opponents.
So this is where it gets really interesting, right?
I think so, yeah. This is where the clash of styles.
Because you have Lens,
Yeah.
who, they're starting to find their scoring touch again.
At home, yeah.
At home, they're coming off that big win.
Right.
And then you have Marseille,
Who are dominant on the road.
who just love to attack.
And who are going to want to bounce back from that loss to Auxerre.
So it's like the unstoppable force and the immovable object.
Right. It's going to be really interesting to see. Yeah.
Which of those styles
Prevails, yeah.
Now, I have to ask about a player who seems to be really crucial to this Marseille away form.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Mason Greenwood. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been amazing.
Yeah, he's been clinical.
Which especially, there are certain periods during away games where he just seems to come alive.
Yeah, consistently finding the back of the net.
If Lens wants to get a result,
Yeah.
they're going to have to contain Greenwood.
Okay, so, I keep thinking about this stat
Yeah.
that we talked about at the beginning.
The red cards.
Yeah, the red cards.
Yeah.
Because both of these teams have been a bit feisty lately.
They have.
And I can't help but wonder if that adds like this whole other layer
Of unpredictability, yeah.
Yeah, of unpredictability to this match.
It does.
Like, could a red card swing the game in either direction?
Absolutely. I mean, you've got two teams that are both going to be desperate for a win.
Right.
Who have a history
Yeah.
of, these really sheeted encounters. And who've also been,
Yeah.
involved in these incidents recently where they've had players sent off.
Yeah, so emotions are going to be high.
And all it takes is one rash challenge,
Yeah.
one moment of
The
frustration for the whole game to change.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so this is a tough one to call.
It is.
But let's recap a little bit here.
Okay.
So Lens, they're gaining some momentum,
They are.
but there's still some questions about their home form.
Right. Can they score goals consistently at home?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Then you have Marseille,
Yeah.
Even though they had that slip-up
Yeah.
against Auxerre,
Right.
they're still a force to be reckoned with,
Especially on the road.
especially on the road, and Greenwood is leading that charge.
He is.
And then you add in this whole element of,
The potential for red cards.
yeah,
Yeah.
just the history between these two teams
Right.
and the fact that they've both been,
A little bit.
a little bit passionate, shall we say,
Yeah.
in their play lately. So I guess the question is,
Yeah, what's it going to be?
we've talked about all these factors.
Yeah, the clash of styles.
Yeah.
The key players.
Red cards.
Yeah.
What is going to be the deciding factor in this game?
Is it going to be a moment of brilliance?
Uh-huh.
A tactical masterclass?
Yeah.
Or a moment of madness?
This is a tough one to call.
It is. What do you think?
I'm not sure I'm going to have to think about that one.
All right, well, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Let us know your predictions.
We're eager to see how
Yeah.
this one unfolds.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time.
See you, Chet.